My appeal to you is that we stop settling for tainted versions of ourselves, gouged out, non-existent, scrambled versions of ourselves as a result of being abused in workplaces. Everyone, welcome back again to my channel. This is she, Miss Nobundu, and you are watching my channel named right after my name, Miss Nobundu. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are coming back again for the I don't know how many nth time, welcome back to another video. I just want to let you know there is a load of stuff on how to get in touch with me in the description box down below, and when you come to the end of this video and you really dig it, just give it a thumbs up. If you see the thumbs up icon, give it a thumbs up, click on that, and also subscribe and click on the bell icon next to it as a way of getting notifications every time that I do upload a video. Okay, without any further ado, let me get into what I am here to talk about today. So what I'm here to talk about today is dignity or worth or the value of a human being. And what happens to the value of a human being, or what happens when the value of a human being is chipped away at, what happens to the rest of other aspects of their lives. If you are, for example, in a workplace where your dignity and your value and your worth just as a human being is being chipped away at every day, and your confidence is being chipped away at every day, and everything that is inherently worthy and of value inside of you is being chipped away at, and being challenged and being belittled and being demeaned and being destroyed through words, through actions, through just a toxic environment. And you stay in that environment, and you stay in that workplace, and you stay in that relationship, and you stay in that friendship. What happens then, particularly if you're in a workplace like this, what happens then to the other parts of your life is that yourself, your worth and your value and your dignity is chipped away at and is diminished. The effect of that diminishing of your worth and your dignity and your value permeates and perverts every other part of your life, and it overflows and causes rot to be part of every other part of your life that didn't necessarily have anything else to do with the original source of where the rot came from, of where the diminished self-worth or the pecked away at dignity, the pecked away at worth and value of a human being initially came from. When you stay in a workplace where your dignity is being chipped away at, is being stripped from you every day, what happens is that you become a person without dignity in other areas of your life, who operates with no dignity, with no sense of value, with no sense of worth in other areas of your life. It pervades and permeates into other areas of your life and systematically destroys your character. It systematically destroys your character from the source of that context where your dignity is being stripped off of you. That begins to permeate throughout your life. And I began to see this in a workplace that I had been in, where the people I worked with, their dignity, their worth, their value was being stripped at and being pegged at and being demeaned and being suppressed and subjugated and oppressed on a daily basis. And as a result, what happened to their character is that their character got twisted, and it changed, and they became people. If they were once integrous, they were no longer integrous. If they were once honest, they no longer cared to be honest. If they once had high standards, they no longer cared to have high standards. If they were once excellent in how they approached their work and how they carried out their work. They were no longer excellent. And I just saw this play out, and God just told me that this is a result of them staying in an environment, staying under management where their worth and their value and their dignity is being stripped away at every day. If you don't remove yourself from a situation like that, your confidence is being stripped away, your dignity, your value is being stripped away on a daily basis, and it affects other areas of your life. It permeates and pervades. It's a kind of divide and conquer tactic that the enemy uses to really just beat down the crown of a human being, to beat down the glory and to dim the light of a human being, the glory of God and the presence of God in every human being. And if you acquiesce to that and you don't leave environments that seek to do that to your dignity, what I found is that you begin to then be a person who is stripped of their dignity and acts accordingly in all other areas of their lives, which is what makes preserving one's dignity a huge matter, a very important matter. That if you're in a position where you've put away your dignity or put aside your dignity to continue to make a living, to continue to have a job, to continue to be in a relationship or a friendship, what happens is that that is a gateway, that is a crack into your life that allows the enemy to enter in and cause for you to act in ways that are not integrous in all other parts of your life. And I know people in my life who are not integrous, who are consistently and repeatedly dishonorable and dishonor me. And I have been trying to figure it out for some time. What causes this person to dishonor me repeatedly? What causes this person to act without integrity, without apology? What causes this person to accept this kind of dysfunction that is unraveling in their lives? It's because people are in workplaces that are so demoralizing, in workplaces that have stripped them of their sense of worth and value and dignity, God inherent worth and dignity and value, stripped of that. They're in workplaces that do that to them from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, from Monday to Friday. Imagine such a huge chunk of your day, and that's happening to you every day. That's bound to change your nature as a human being. That's bound to change the nature of your spirit and your soul and your mind. That's bound to change you. And I just came on here to say that if you are in a place in life where you are working and you're working for money and you are making a living, but it's at the cost of your dignity, think again. Take stock, take a step back, and take inventory of your life and see if it's worth the permeation and the perversion and the diminishing of yourself and of your worth and of your dignity and of your honor as a human being in relation to other human beings, your confidence in relation to yourself, and everything else that you do. Take stock and ask yourself, is it really worth me, the essence of me? There's this very, popular viewpoint that nothing in the workplace is personal, but I beg to differ. This is very personal. This is very much a personal attack from the devil, the enemy, and it is a personal attack that is designed to permeate your life and bring rot into your life and diminish your glory, and just remove your crown from you and just render you a person bereft of the inherent holiness that we inherited from Christ Jesus. It is a dangerous ploy, it is a dangerous tool, and I just want to encourage you, if you are finding yourself in a situation, in a workplace, where you are there for 8 hours of the day plus, 8+ hours of the day, and that is happening to you, take courage and remove yourself from that situation. Take courage and make a different decision for your life. Take courage and monkey bar your way to the next thing, to the next job, where there are better circumstances, like a great improvement in circumstances, because none of this money is worth us worshiping it. None of this money is worth being our idol. None of this income and these jobs are worth us losing ourselves, are worth us losing our dignity, worth losing our worth, losing our value. None of it is. And I've had that experience, and I feel such relief no longer being in a situation like that. And it's almost like I'm gathering myself back to myself again, and I see just what a farce it is and what an illusion it is, and it's a very high cost, and it's not a cost that is worth your spirit. It's not a cost that is worth your holiness. It's not a cost that is worth the glory of God inside of you. Take stock, make a different decision. You are losing yourself, and this is a great battle against you, and this is a great war against you, and you need to fight. And it might seem like you're losing an income. It might seem like you've lost a job if you got fired, but it's not worth your dignity. Your dignity has no price to it. Your glory, your holiness has no price to it. No check, no retirement plan is enough for it. I have seen it in people that are older than me, that are now in retirement age, and I see it in people that are closer to that age, how much of their dignity they have placed aside in order to be able to gain their entire, lifetime savings, but at the cost of this thing pervading and permeating and perverting their entire life, and they're out of character, and they are groveling on the ground with the dirt because they've given up what is of true worth. My appeal to you is that we stop settling for tainted versions of ourselves, gouged out, non-existent, scrambled versions of ourselves as a result of being abused in workplaces, being abused in relationships, being abused in interactions. But particularly I'm talking about workplaces here, because people spend so much time in workplaces that are so toxic, that kill gradually parts and chip away and strip off parts of themselves that are so valuable that there should be no price on. They stay in those workplaces and they settle for these tainted versions. We settle for these tainted versions of ourselves, and we in turn become these dysfunctional people in every other area of our lives, because a tainted version, a scrambled version, means that everywhere else that you show up in your life, you show up as that version that is stripped of your dignity. You show up as that version that is tainted, that is perverted. You show up as that version that no longer has a compass that says, okay, this is not acceptable, this is not dignified, this is not integrious, because your compass, you've let your compass constantly be nudged at and be messed with, that it loses its true north, and you show up anywhere and everywhere in other parts of your life without yourself in your true north position. And I just want to urge you to please take courage. I think this is the reason why there's so much dysfunction and toxicity in workplaces, because no one is taking a stand for their own dignity. Everyone is just submitting for the sake of money, and if we all just didn't, then there would be a mass restoration that allows us all to go back to our true untainted selves, healed selves, and for us to be able to interact and work with each other in the workplace as well as in other areas of our lives, to work and to show up as people with dignity, and to interact and connect and interconnect as people with dignity and in dignity. That is all that I'm here to share with you today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and also share. There's a swoosh kind of arrow at the bottom here. Give it a share. Encourage people to come and watch this channel. I really appreciate you again for coming to watch. I will see you next time. Stay blessed and be blessed. Ain't a love, true love, or is it tainted love?